Welcome to this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing this now moment with myself and with one another. If you haven't seen these videos before, welcome back if you have. My intention is benevolence for all and alignment with the highest levels of love, light, unity, and oneness. Let's flow. I'm in my car, obviously. I do a lot of videos in my car. Get a lot of activations and downloads while I drive, as do many other people. I just want to back up and I want to just share that from my perspective, there's so much happening. There are so many activations going on right now for people. So many people have leveled up, are leveling up, are in the process of leveling up. I'm seeing my role as assisting others as they level up in balancing, in letting go, not being afraid, because I went through all those and I still go through those things sometimes as a human being, right? We're not only assisting one another in this because of our own journey, we are experiencing things in a much more synchronistic pattern, in a much more flow. And as I look in front, I see 666. So, here we go. As we level up, our cellular activity increases. As we allow ourselves to come into a new crossroads, so to speak, we are given opportunities to choose a different path, to change our station, to change our direction, our navigable course of action. As we allow ourselves to harmonize within these new frequency patterns, we allow ourselves to drift, if you will, in a weightless sort of fashion. It allows us to flow in a wave-like pattern. Just laughing. I'm seeing reference to 666. I'm seeing reference to the rings around the sun, ring around the rose. I'm seeing reference to Ramsey. I'm seeing reference to blue waves, but this is more of like what I saw back on Christmas or Christmas week. The shape that I was seeing in Uluru or through Australia as portals. Many of us are activating in a higher frequency. We are activating in a higher rate. As we lift our expectations, we activate at a higher rate of expectations. So as we raise our expectations, so they're playing with this, and what I'm being shown is that it's like letting go of expectations, of course, but also recognizing that we can expect more of ourselves. So it's not putting a label and saying this is how we should receive it. This is, again, back to what I've said in the past. It's just a matter of releasing those expectations, but expecting more. So I expect love and light. I expect activations, downloads, frequencies, and all of that. And as I bring these expectations in, I release the expectations of how those things need to come, right? Where they need to come from. And as I release those expectations, it allows me to expand into more or raise, I'm seeing reference to the sun, raising of frequencies, raise the bar. Lots of double and triple numbers for me today. I'm seeing a reference to going back into time on a message that I posted before, and it was raise the flag, and I was seeing the white flag of peace, and I'm seeing that. Does anybody remember that song by Dido? I'm trying to remember the lyrics, but I can see her and I can see the lyrics to the song, and I'll have to share it. You guys know what song I'm talking about. Basically, she's saying, I will not give up. I will not go down with this ship. I will not hold my flag up and surrender. So what I'm seeing is surrender, but don't surrender. Have expectations, but don't have expectations, which seems like I'm hearing the word juxtapose. But it's a play here. It's like, don't fight the wave. Surrender to the energies. Surrender to letting go, lifting the gates. Let the gates be wide open, the floodgates. The gates have been lifted. Only we are holding ourselves back. So are we holding back ourselves or others by putting certain expectations that are based off of a 3D linear structure, that are based off of a lower density, a lower frequency, a lower vibration? What types of expectations are we putting on ourselves? What kind of impact is this having in our field and in our, I'm hearing life expectancy. I'm hearing expect more out of life. And the more we stress and the more we get into that space of not allowing, the harder life is. The more people have, I'm hearing the more people disable themselves, have disabilities, the more things happen because it's this constant state of push and resistance. So again, I'm hearing, I won't put my flag up and surrender. So she says, I will go down with this ship. But the idea is that we don't have to go down with this ship. We're on this Mother Earth. Surrender. Stop trying to leave the planet unless you really want to, and that's obviously a whole other ball of wax. But we came here for a reason. The message that's coming through is, let's not be looking outside of ourselves for saviors anymore. That ship has sailed. I'm also hearing the white flag has to do with that clean energy, that white flag of least resistance, that putting the flag up and saying, I surrender to source, all that is, and the flow, but I don't surrender in my expansion. I'm not giving my power away. I'm not looking for someone to save me. So that's kind of what they're playing with here. That ship, they're saying, showing me again, that ship has sailed. That spring has sprung. It's so funny, as I say that spring is sprung, I see the spring like boing, 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 like it's lost its buoyancy for some people, and they're kind of all over the place, like, uh-oh, now what do I cling to? Nobody's going to save me. I have to save myself. I need help. And so that's where a lot of light workers are coming in to assist others in their journey, in understanding their full spectrum, their full expectancy. So if we are asking for help from other people, places, things, or beings or energies, again, we're being invited not to have expectations. We can be more open-minded about what we are expecting to see, feel, hear, taste, and touch. Because again, a lot of our expectations were based on a limited construct. I used to listen to Cryon, and what he said, he used to say, I still listen to Cryon. I haven't lately, but I still really highly suggest listening to Cryon and Lee Carroll channel Cryon, the magnetic master, energy master. But he used to say, you don't know what you don't know. So if we're limiting ourselves and saying, I want, let's say a certain amount of money, because I know that used to be the whole law of attraction was, I want $50,000 in 1 week. Well, that may not be what your bigger picture is. That might be a temporary attachment That might not be for the greatest and highest good and the best and biggest expansion and the highest levels of joy and abundance and love light. Even though from your 3D linear perspective, that is what you would be really seem like it would solve all of our problems right now, is having that in the bank. I get it. But recognizing that there's more than meets the eye. There's more than meets the, what's being projected in front of us. There might be, we might only be seeing a portion of what, of course, our higher aspect, our highest aspect sees laid out for us. So we might only be seeing one room of the whole blueprint, when the blueprint is in, lots of energies coming in. The whole blueprint is infinite. Shed and release. Lots of energy coming in. Whew. In order to realize more of that which you are. Release the expectations in order to release the latch. So they're showing me that there's a latch in front of a lot of people. There is a door. There's a latch on it, and it looks like it's locked, but it isn't. Like, if you ever, you guys, I've done this before. Have you ever thought you were locked out of like someplace, like locked out of your house or locked out of your car, and then like all you had to do was move the doorknob a little different, and it was just, or it was open the whole time and you didn't realize it? Yes, I've done that. So that's kind of what they're showing me, is like, we just have to take that step in opening the door. I'm seeing lots of references. So one of my dear friends, just recently, who just started speaking light language, I'm so excited. One of my dear friends was saying, Carrie, I was seeing the sun, this reference to the sun and the sun's rays coming in. And I won't name names just because I don't know if she wants to be called out on a video, but thinking of you, sister. So anyways, but she was in flow and she was getting all of these messages about the rays of the sun. And I'm seeing all these messages right now as well. And so there becomes this shared energy that we're all tapping into. And as soon as we kind of let go, we level up, if you will. And we then see above the layer that we were in before. So we didn't know we were in that lower layer before, although some people are starting to feel it. They're starting to recognize that, seeing double fives, double threes, triple sixes, again, double fives, it's constant, double the Dutch. So we didn't know, I'm seeing like, pulled the finger from the dam, what's that the Dutch boy? Anyways, we don't necessarily know that we're in this lower frequency. And then all of a sudden we get up and it's like poking your head above water, and seeing everything that you couldn't see when you were under the water. Feeling things that you couldn't feel before, because now you're able to take a breath and realize that the land is right there. I just saw a marquee where it says, "For I know I have plans for you." And it was a chapter out of the Bible. So funny. So I see that synchronicity, and it's like, yes, I have bigger plans. Well, the good news is, I just sidebar right now, it's not like people are going to get in accidents from looking at their phones. I think they're just going to get in accidents from going so slow because they're looking at their phones. So people are at least slowing down a little bit, it seems like. Oh, it's so funny. So what's happening is once we get our head above water, we can just then see, oh, when I was in it, I didn't see what was going on, but now I see, right? What's that? For I was blind, but now I see. There's a lot of people with their heads still underwater. And so there are many light workers who are assisting pulling them out of the water or giving them a hand. We're not doing the saving. We're not saving anybody. We are all our own savior. As we help ourselves, we help others. So it starts back to that message that I'm always giving, well, not always, but quite frequently, about put your own mask on. If the plane is going down, right, put your own mask on before you put somebody else's on, because you have to be able to balance yourself and your own energies before reaching out to assist others, because then it throws us off course when we aren't balanced in our own sovereignty, our own trajectory. I'm also hearing a little side message about the earth. We've got volcanoes erupting, we've got earthquakes, we've got fires, and it's a lot of, there's a group, of course, that are heads below water or still stuck in a lower density and a lower reference. Okay, so I know I'm on 5 subjects right now. Let me go back first. So back to like my friend that was talking about how she was getting this message about soak in the rays of the sun. It's so important. Get in the sun right now. If you're in a place, set your intention to connect with the sun. The sun has many gifts to offer us, and there's many gateways and portals. Our bodies are the portal. We don't need to wait for important dates to activate what's within us. Okay, that's one of the biggest messages. If you can't get in the sun, work with crystals, work with water, get solar lamps. Set your intention to connect with the sun, because that in itself helps. Intention is everything. So, I lost my train of thought. I was going off on a tangent. Oh, the beings, the changes on the earth. There are a group of beings that are in that space of it's the end of days, it's the end time. And indeed it is. It is the end of days. It is the end of time. It's the end of time as we know it. It's the end of the old structure. The old structure, the end of days. As I'm saying this, you guys, this license plate is RIP. Literally, RIP 1. Rest in peace. You guys, you just... I remember when this first started happening to me, and I would just trip out. And now I'm still tripping out. But the difference is I find it more funny. Before I was like mind blown. Now I'm just like, all right. So yeah, message, rest in peace. And I'm having this reference to Be the Dot. If you guys have ever watched Feel Good, he talks about being the dot. I like that particular message that he talks about. I don't watch him all of the time, but I really enjoy his energy. And he's got some really powerful messages to share. And so shout out to Feel Good. But having said that, be in that space of, for me, I like to just reference it to steering the tornado, right? Or little shout out to Dan Winter, right? Being the eye of the storm. So again, I won't go down with the ship. Yes, the ship is going down. Yes, it's already happened. Yes, it's making a lot of noise as it goes down, but that isn't going to pull me off course. And so get out in the sun, drink water, get into flow, get into movement, journal, all that good stuff that I always talk about. Another 333. But also recognize that a lot of the stuff that's going on is distraction. And again, it's about finding balance and harmony. Put our own mask on, take care of ourselves in the highest levels of love light. So we are assisting others in balancing out and harmonizing with this energy. Double 5s. And as we harmonize in this energy, there's a lot going on right now, obviously. I'm going to pause this for a second. The general message is all of the stuff that's happening on the earth, all of these world events, it is part of the end of times. We are in the golden age. We are in the age of Aquarius. There is no, my friend Kat had the age of Aquarius playing in her head all day. And it's like, yeah, it's a reminder, you know, we're in that age of Aquarius. We're in a new era. So if we want things to change, we have to recognize, or we're being invited to recognize, that that means everything is changing, including the earth. So all these volcanoes, and the message that was coming through earlier from my guides is the water is correcting itself. The water is cleansing itself. Does that mean the ley lines are cleansing? The ley lines are shifting. I'm getting a reference right now to blue ox, which blue ox is a particular frequency having to do with the ley line grids and network. The dragons have been coming through. Portals are shifting. Gates are opening. Things are restructuring. But what happens is, as all of this stuff clears and moves in flux, volcanoes are going to erupt. Things are going to happen. Things are moving and shaking. Things are 55, double five, fifth. We're layering up. So one of the messages is that is all good stuff. The oceans are going through a cleanse right now. The land is going through a cleanse right now. And cleanse isn't even the right word. Everything's going through an upgrade, including us. So if our bodies are going from carbon-based to crystalline, and our bodies are 70% water, we have bone, blood, what do you think the earth is made of? What do you think's happening in the earth? So all of the crystals within the earth, all of the harmonics, everything is going through a reawakening, a rebirth. And as we continue in this rebirth, right, everything changes. So again, I come back to the beginning of the message, right? As we change, as we shift, we're being invited to let go of expectations. The other day, my message was primarily about letting go of judgment. I mean, it's kind of the same idea. It's let go or be dragged. But all of this is normal and beautiful. We are getting what we asked for in so many ways. So have faith, trust, right? Believe in ourselves, believe in Mother Earth. And that doesn't mean pollute the oceans with plastic because the oceans are cleansing themselves. That doesn't mean continue to do things that that are putting things into the air or cutting down trees for more. We are standing for the new energies, and we are not going down with the old ship. We are standing strong, and we are letting go at the same time. It's a softness. It's a relaxing as the birthing process takes place, right? Not being so rigid. So I'm going to end on that note. I think that's a great way to end it. So in love and light, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and even in just watching these videos and sharing in these videos with me. I'm so grateful. I'm just very grateful to be in this space. I'm grateful to be on Earth, Mother Earth, with you guys, experiencing all of this. This journey is what this is all about. We're creators, we're masters of our reality, and we're awakening to this lineage. We're awakening to more and more and more, and it's beautiful. So in love and light, guys, namaste.